discuss about ozone layer depletion in the stratosphere. In this topic, we are learning about how does the ozone formation take place, and then how does it is going to depleted, and what are the types of the ozone layers can be found in the atmosphere. And then we learn about here in this topic, we are learning about what are the effect of ozone layer depletion, that we are going to learn in this. Now in the examination point of view, the topic is very much important. Either they may ask for 3 marks or 5 marks question. Okay, let us discuss further. Before that, just watch the video which is here.
The formation of ozone dates back several billion years, when the Earth was formed. Initially, there was no atmosphere. The Earth's surface was covered by water vapor, methane, carbon dioxide, and ammonia released from a molten mass. Gradually, the ultraviolet rays of the sun broke up the water vapor to form hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen, being a lighter gas than oxygen, escaped. The high-energy ultraviolet rays of the sun reacted with other oxygen molecules to form ozone. Ozone is found in low concentrations throughout the Earth's atmosphere. However, about 90% of ozone is found in the lower portion of the stratosphere, where it forms the ozone layer. This layer is between 13 kilometers and 20 kilometers above the Earth's surface and varies geographically and seasonally. The thickness of the ozone layer is measured in Dobson units. Depending on the function of ozone, it is categorized as bad or good. In the troposphere, ozone is considered an air pollutant as it harms plants and animals, and it is thus known as bad ozone. While in the stratosphere, ozone acts as a protective covering and blocks about 95 to 99% of harmful ultraviolet rays from entering the Earth. Here, it is referred to as good ozone. Unfortunately, various human activities have resulted in depletion of the protective ozone layer. Moreover, there has been an imbalance between production and degradation of ozone in the atmosphere. This degradation has occurred due to chlorofluorocarbons or CFCs, which are mainly used as refrigerants in air conditioners, refrigerators, and aerosol products. When CFCs are discharged into the atmosphere, they move up to reach the stratosphere and, being long-lived molecules, remain in their original state. In the stratosphere, CFCs react with ultraviolet rays, releasing chlorine atoms, which in turn degrades ozone-releasing molecular oxygen. These chlorine atoms function as catalysts only. Moreover, the continuous addition of CFCs results in further degradation of the ozone layer. Scientists discovered that the decrease of ozone in the upper atmosphere depends on latitude. Studies have shown that the decrease in ozone is strongest in regions over the South Pole, that is, the Antarctic region. This thinned ozone layer is called an ozone hole. Similarly, there is an ozone hole over the Arctic region, but over a smaller area. The thinning of the ozone layer has made it possible for ultraviolet rays to reach the Earth's surface. These rays are highly injurious to organisms as they break the chemical bonds in DNA and protein molecules. Moreover, Prolonged exposure to ultraviolet rays has harmful effects on human beings. It causes aging of the skin, damage to skin cells, and various types of skin cancers. Moreover, if the cornea of the eye absorbs high doses of UVB radiations, it causes inflammation of the cornea, commonly known as snow blindness cataract. Prolonged exposure to these rays may also permanently damage the cornea. Realizing the harmful effects of CFCs on the depletion of the ozone layer, 31 nations signed the Montreal Protocol in 1987 to limit their production of CFCs. As of today, 196 nations have signed the protocol. Several other measures have been taken and protocols laid down, with separate roadmaps for developed and developing countries to ensure a reduction in the emission of CFCs and other ozone-depleting substances, or ODS. We too can prevent and control the depletion of the ozone layer by avoiding the use of CFCs and other ODS.
Okay, students, you saw the video just now, and it says about the overall picture of how does the ozone has been formed, where does it is going to form, and then how does the depletion take place, and what are the effect of the ozone things. So let us discuss in shortly so that you will come to know more detailedly about this ozone layer depletion. Now, as we already know, ozone is the natural occur gas compound because ozone means usually we say oxygen atom, which is consist of two molecules, normal oxygen. But the ozone, when you take up a chemical symbol, we write as O3. Okay, so now whenever you see during the earlier billion years ago, we know about the evolutionary life. You may be knowing about how does the evolution take place, when does the universe form, Big Bang theory, right? A single explosion take place and all things were formed, like the stars, the galaxies, the Milky Way galaxies were formed. After that, okay, slowly the earth as well as the atmosphere was formed due to the single large explosion, and that we say it is called as which is called as the Big Bang theory, we say, right? So because of that reason, the earth as well as the atmosphere was not there. So before the atmosphere formed, the presence of so many gases were in the molten state, which has been formed, and they absorbed the UV radiation from the sun, and that is how the things has been taken place, and the ozone has been formed with the help of UV radiation. Then when you take up the ozone, as you can see above the picture, you can see there are three layers, okay? Thermosphere, mesosphere, stratosphere, as well as troposphere. So in another word, we say where does the ozone is present. Let us see. So you have already seen the picture there. So whenever you can see, okay, the earth, which can be seen, the earth, then the troposphere, then the ozone, then you can see a stratosphere. So likewise you can see divisions of ozone layers. Okay, now so in that, depending upon the ozone, okay, ozone function, So it has been divided into three partition. Ozone has been divided into three partition based on the function. Two partition, good ozone as well as bad ozone. Where does it is present means near the stratosphere as well as troposphere. You can see the picture over here. Troposphere, stratosphere as well as the troposphere. There you can see the things. Now good ozone is nothing but it is naturally occurred. Why does it is naturally occur? Because it will helps in preventing the directly attacking or directly receiving of the UV radiation from the sun. So it is found in the stratospheric region. Then bad ozone is nothing but where due to the human pollution or air, mainly with the air pollution, so this has been created, and this is present near the troposphere or down part of the ozone layer. And this which is not naturally which is existed. Okay, and then where does the bad ozone come from? As you all know, the pollution like CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons. Where does CFCs, whom it is going to release? It is going to release us by the cars, as well as the coolers, as well as refrigerators, and then the aerosol compounds, and then the power plants, the factories. All those they have created this bad ozone. So whether we require this ozone, yeah, sure, yes, we require this ozone. Why we require? In order to protect it from the direct attacking from of the UV radiation from the sun. You imagine if the ozone was not there means what would have been happen. So ozone was not there means a direct sun rays or sunlight will be coming from the sun to the earth, and then it may be damages. So simple hot we could not able to bear it, right? So because of that reason ozone is important. Nowadays the ozone layer is completely destroying due to the man-made as well as polluting activity. Okay, so let us discuss further. As I told, so ozone layer in the stratosphere, that means the depletion is taking place near the stratospheric region. Okay, so now bad ozone is formed in the lower atmosphere of the troposphere that harms the plant and animals. Okay, there is a good ozone also can be seen. It is the upper part which is called as stratosphere. They may ask you where does the good as well as bad ozone form for 1 marks question. Okay, so it will helps in absorbing the ultra UV radiation from the sun. So how does it is going to measure? This ozone has been measured in terms of Dobson unit. They may ask for 1 marks question. Okay, so Dobson Dobson unit, they are going to measure how much thickness which is present. Okay, then this ozone gas is continuously formed by the action of UV rays on the molecular oxygen and also degraded into the molecular oxygen in the form of stratosphere. This is the other part. So here you have to remember where does the good ozone form, where does the bad ozone form, and what is the measure how we can measure the ozone thickness. Okay, next. Now, as I told, how does the depletion take place? Let us discuss this part here. The ozone depletion, which is mainly occurs in Antarctic as well as Arctic region, where you can see ozone holes has been formed. So this is the main reaction which can be seen. This is the first, then the second, third, as well as the fourth. What happens? CFC releases into the environment by the industries. That this you have to learn. Okay, this may be asked for 3 or 5 marks question. So how does the ozone layer depletion take place? Now CFC has been released by the human activity. Okay, human activity means by the pollutant. The pollutant means here refrigerator, coolers, and all those compounds. And this has been releases to the environment. Okay, and then these which is directly goes to the stratosphere. Then the sunlight breaks up the CFCs into a chlorine molecule. So what happens once the sun rays uh, uh, okay, react with the CFC, it is going to releases the chlorine molecule, and these chlorine molecule which is going to in turn react with the oxygen O3 atom and destroy the ozone, and then which is causes much more reaction of ozone depletion. And this is a small reaction, you can understand with very easily. Okay, the same thing which I have been written here. Okay, balancing of ozone in the stratosphere is disrupted due to the enhancement of ozone degradation by chlorofluorocarbons. CFC find wide use in the refrigerators. This has been discharged in the lower part of the atmosphere, move towards the stratosphere. In the stratosphere, UV rays act on the CFC and releases the active atoms. Then chlorine molecule degrades ozone, releasing molecular oxygen. The chlorine is act as a catalyst, not consumed during the reaction. Whatever CFCs are added to the stratosphere, and they have permanent and continuing effect on one ozone level and to the other. The depletion is marked particularly over the Antarctic region. Has resulted in the formation of large thin ozone layer, commonly called as ozone hole, and then the unit has been measured in terms of Dobson unit. So you can, if you are feeling difficulty with these points, you can write this next part. These points you can write. Okay, so this is also the easier the way to understand. Okay, now what are the effect of the UV rays? Now once the ozone layer completely depleted, then what is the effect from the UV rays? As we already know, so the UV rays causes damages to the skin, then damages to the eyes. You can see the damaging your DNA, then proteins and all those things. Okay, and now let us discuss here. UV radiations are most completely absorbed by earth atmosphere if the ozone layer is intact. DNA and the proteins living organism will damage, so this causes, we say it is called mutation. The DNA or a protein cell will of the human body which is going to affect. Then damages causes, as I told, mutation. It causes aging of the skin. The skin start, okay, the skin cell start die, okay, started to die, so that aging take place. Then it causes skin cancer, and it causes eye problem. Okay, that eye problem is which is called as snow blindness, inflammation of the cornea. This causes the photophobia, we could not able to differentiate the color, and this inflammation take place, and this is called as snow blindness. Okay, and then in this they may ask you for 1 marks question, okay, know about snow blindness. Now, how will you prevent this? So usually we have to prevent this because okay, by okay, prevention by mainly planting of the okay plants major, and we have to avoid the pollution as well as the pollutant, and then avoid the CFCs. That is the main important. Okay, don't use the CFCs. Okay, then mainly prevention has been taken up by the Montreal Protocol, which has been signed during 1987 to control the emission of ozone layer depleting substances. This may be asked for 1 marks question. What is Montreal Protocol? Okay, I hope you understood about this. Okay, thank you.